Hey guys, what's up? Darcy here at 6 Strings 9 Lives. Back for another CD vinyl update. Picked up a couple CDs here to show you. And I picked up a pile of Annihilator off of Metal Mickey. He was selling them and I needed them all. I've had a few on cassette over the years. I've been personally hit and miss with Annihilator. I mean, great band. I just lost sight of them a couple of times and have had some of the stuff that's kind of been in between. I'll kind of explain as I go, but I thought, you know what, I'm going to pick up these. They're all originals. They're all in great condition, and some of them are very hard to find. And I think only the first two, which is Alice in Hell and Never Neverland, have ever really got a proper reissue. As far as I know, we'll go through those. Just spinning a little Testament in the background. I'm kind of in Testament mode. I am really getting excited for that new album. Formation of Damnation is still my favorite of the, the newer stuff. So they reformed in 2008 and have put out an album every 4 years since. I'm hoping the new album, Titans of Creation, is a bit better than the Brotherhood of the Snake. There's some super strong songs on there. But I personally don't think it's as strong as this album or even Dark Roots of Earth. Again, not a bad album. It's Testament, come on. But I'm hoping for a great album. Yeah, pretty hyped up. I've been seeing a lot of footage on YouTube about the Bay Area Strikes Back tour. If you're going to that, I am super jealous, but have a great time. Get in that mosh pit and you'll recover, don't worry, just go for it. Anyways, a few to show you here. I'm going to start this update, well, with a little chaos. This is a great recommendation. I am so glad I picked this album up. And why this album passed me by, and why, actually, long gap between this album and their first work. And the band is Heathen. This is the Evolution of Chaos. Absolutely awesome. So happy I picked this up. So this is a 2020 reissue, and excuse me, it has been remastered by Chris Zeus Harris. This one also includes a DVD, and if you don't have this, I'll tell you, this might be well, it's early in the year, but this is my reissue of the year so far, and it's also my Why Didn't I Have This Already album of the year. I don't know much about their first two albums, Breaking the Silence, and I wrote the other one down, Victims of Deception. But if they're anything like this, I probably need to pick those up. So, Lee Altus, who's in sorry, I was looking. Anyways, Lee Altus, who's in Exodus, he's in this band. I don't know. I don't even know if this band is literally still going, maybe as a side thing. I hope they are, because this just killer. Check out any track on here. Controlled by Chaos. A long song, No Stone Unturned. Really good. Super cool breakdown in the middle. A Hero's Welcome, kind of a war type of song. Blood Cult. Very cool. So, like I said, this one includes the Making of Evolution of Chaos documentary, and also Live in Japan 2009. I haven't checked out the DVD part yet. There's the CD. The CD is actually in the player, and there is the DVD right there. Tell me a little more about Heathen. Should I be getting those other albums? Because, like I said, this is pretty cool. Little more chaos here. This is only the third album that I've picked up from this band, and have only got into, the death metal that I listen to is the band Death, Obituary, love those guys. And then this band was highly recommended to me, and I picked up their third album, War Master, and their fourth album, The Fourth Crusade. And now I picked up their second one, Bolt Thrower, Realm of Chaos. This is one of those earache FDR full dynamic range reissues digipack. Pretty nice digipack, actually. I had bought this a while ago, but it came so damaged I sent it back and just finally picked it up again. Anyways, I'm going to say out of the three that I own, War Master is absolutely the best. Then the Fourth Crusade, and then I would say this one. Not as good as those, but a good album. You know what? I haven't had enough spins of it yet, but we'll get to that. Let me show you these Annihilator, all 9 of them. I'll kind of burn through these pretty quick because I'll show you that vinyl after. So, like I said before, Metal Mickey was selling part of a haul that he came across, and we'll start off with Annihilator's 1994 release, King of the Kill. So, like I said, this is the 4th album. We all know Alice in Hell, you know, really well, and Never Never Land. And then the 3rd album, which was, I forget what it was called. That's actually one I don't have. But here is King of the Kill. This one is on Music for Nations. Lots of label jumping with these guys. I'll try to tell you what label it came out if you care or whatever. Then I picked up their 5th album from 1996. So Jeff took over vocals on the King of the Kill, and he continues on this one. Refresh the Demon. Some of these I don't know that well. I'll kind of tell you the ones I do know a little better. Cool artwork. There's the back cover. Almost looks like that Uriah Heep Abominog album type of cover. And this one is on CMC International. Next up is called Remains from, this is their 6th album from 1997. And Jeff is still on vocals here. You know, and this, you know who Jeff Waters is. I mean, Annihilator is one of those bands where, for all intents and purposes, Jeff Waters is Annihilator. And it's one of those bands that if you didn't have a guy like Jeff Waters, you wouldn't have Annihilator. You know, kind of like Megadeth without Dave Mustaine type of thing. Same case here. But anyways, really happy to pick up all these Annihilators. And they're all original pressing, so I'm pretty pleased. And like I said, just great condition. Next up is their 7th album I picked up called Criteria for a Black Widow. So this one sees the return of Randy Rampage on vocals. So, also this is the same lineup as the Alice in Hell lineup, minus bass player Russ Berquist, which is a cool little story. I went to high school with Russell, and always one of those. He's in the metalhead crowd, and you know, even back then, I'll tell you, I was a little, starstruck even back then. You know, I just almost felt like I knew Russell would go on to do great things. He's a super nice guy. He's not the bass player with Annihilator anymore, but pretty cool that he was in this band. Anyways, I will zip through these. Now we're coming into a couple Annihilator albums that I absolutely love. I love the 2 with Joe Como on it. Joe spent, I don't know, probably 5-6 years in Overkill, as the guitar player, and he had a lot of background vocal stuff like that with Overkill. But into 2 of my favorites, this one is called Carnival Diablos. Absolutely love this album. This one's got a thrash vibe, it's got a AC/DC vibe, it's got, just lots of metal. It's just a great album. Joe has more of that, like I said, kind of, I'm not going to say AC/DC-ish voice, but he definitely, he's got some good range, so he can sing those type of songs too. Anyways, a couple of my absolute favorite, all together favorite Annihilator songs are on this album. Carnival Diablos, Shallow Grave is one of my all-time favorite Annihilator songs. Pretty cool to have that. And next up is their 9th album from 2002, also with Joe Como. Actually, and this one features Randy Black is on drums, and the guitar player at the time, his name is Karan Murphy. A lot of lineup changes with Annihilator over the years, but again, you know, Jeff is still there. He's the mainstay. Another good album. I think out of the two Joe Como albums, I like Carnival Diablos a little better, but this one has killer songs like Striker, Nothing to Me, awesome song called Firepower. So there's that one, and we still got 3 more Annihilator. So yeah, quite a pile of Annihilator all in one shot. This one is their 10th album, All For You. Another label jump here. This one is on AFM. This one, so Joe Como left after Waking the Fury, and in comes Dave Padden. Dave Padden stayed for 5 albums altogether. And this one I don't really know that well, to be honest with you. There's a few I don't know that well, but we'll get to know them. So anyways, that's our 10th album. Oh, on this one, actually, this one features Mike Mangini on drums. So there's another, you know, bigger name as far as drummers go. Lots of great musicians in Annihilator over the years. Like I said, Randy Black on drums, Ray Hartman, fantastic. And then, you know, Jeff's used some drum software over time too. But hey, nothing beats an actual real drummer. Next up is their 12th album, I believe, from 2007. This one is called Metal. Don't know a lot about this one either. We'll get into it soon. But I think, if memory serves me, there's a lot of a lot of guests on this one. I think that's the one. I think overall I'm only missing maybe 3 Annihilator, and I think, oh yes, that 3rd one was called Set the World Afire. I don't have that one. And then we're jumping to the 14th album, and this is the last to feature Dave Padden on vocals. This one's called Feast. So yeah, like I said, or I don't know if I said, but where can you get, you know, 9 albums all in one shot, decently priced, fast shipping, and a lot of them very hard to get. Good luck finding a few of those in the middle. It just doesn't happen. Okay, we're gonna wrap. Sorry about kind of going into the Annihilator direction there, but great band. The new album, Ballistic Sadistic. It's been in my CD player pretty much since I bought it. It's really, really a great album, so highly recommend that one. Next up is probably my favorite German metal band of all time. It's not Halloween, but you know, Halloween's awesome too. It's Accept, and I saw this come up for pre-order. I'm not a super bent on every live album, but this one, it's a must-have. This is called Staying Alive. This one actually came out in 1990. It was released a year after Eat the Heat. And Udo himself wasn't even in the band at the time, but this is just absolutely a masterpiece. This is Accept at the top of their game. This is a music on vinyl reissue, if I didn't say that already. Gatefold. Very glossy cover. This was recorded in 1985 on the Metal Heart Tour and features songs from the albums Breaker, Restless and Wild, Balls to the Wall, and Metal Heart, which to me is the absolute heyday. I mean, if you could also add in Russian Roulette to this, would make it even better. But I mean, this was only 85. Russian Roulette came out in 86. This one, like I said, came out on Music on Vinyl. Here's the hype sticker. This one, yeah, so it's the 30th anniversary. Came on smoked colored vinyl, which I'll show you. They're both the same, so I'll just show you one. There it is. Both the same, kind of got the black smoke in there or whatever. And I pulled out the CD. I wanted to see if my friend asked me, is that the same track listing as the CD? And I said, yeah, it looks like it, but actually there's actually 3 more songs. Here's the CD. Anyways, if you ever want some live Accept at the top of their game, go pick this up. There's actually 3 more songs on the vinyl. The songs that are not on the CD are Neon Nights, Burning, and Head Over Heels, which are fantastic too. Yeah, if you're a fan of Accept, you can't lose with this one, CD or vinyl. And last up here, I have 2 more albums from a band that I've just gotten into a lot over the past probably almost 5 or 6 months now. I know that's a short period of time to really appreciate a band, but the band is Ram, and I picked up 2 on vinyl that I've had on CD and just can't stop listening to these guys. This is their I think this is their 3rd album. Yes, it is. This is their album Death. This one is their first release on Metal Blade Records. There's the back cover. Let's just open this. This is a gatefold single disc. Some band shots there. This one didn't come with an inner. It just came with actually a paper sleeve. I already put a MoFi on it. Here's the vinyl. The center ring almost, it's kind of cool. It almost looks like it's homemade type of thing. Pretty cool. So if you're not familiar with Ram, I mean, I've showed them quite a bit lately, and I just, again, it's one of those bands that I just caught on with me. Here, the hype sticker, here's the hype sticker, and I'm going to read that to you. It says, Swedish heavy metal in the vein of Judas Priest and Iron Maiden. True, but they're not a clone of anyone. They have their own identity. Their albums are very diverse. They each of their albums that I own, which is 5 of them now, each album stands by itself. It doesn't, I don't say that one just sounds like that one or whatever. Just great stuff. Check out Ram if you haven't. And the last one I picked up, and it's Ram again, but probably my favorite out of the 5 that I own. Probably this one and, well, the one I just showed you, Death, or even their 2nd album, Lightbringer, which is pretty awesome. This one, and I always have trouble pronouncing this one, but I think it's called Subversum, if I'm pronouncing that properly. There's the back cover. So this would be their 4th album, released on Metal Blade Records. This one is a 2015. There's the center. A little bit of a collage and a bunch of, not sure what's going on with that, but fantastic album. This, like I said, this is check out the first track, Return of the Iron Tyrant, or look up the song Holy Death. Just anything from this. This is solid. And here is the vinyl. This one's just black vinyl and has the classic Metal Blade logo on there. Yeah, I really became a big fan of Ram over the past, like I said, 6 months. And I will continue to try to look for, I still don't own their very first album, or they have an EP out too, and I will look for those 2 soon. Anyways, sorry, almost 20 minutes here, but had to cover off these Annihilators. It's going to take me a while to get through all those, but don't forget about this fantastic recommendation by Heathen. Yeah, and if you're heading to that Testament, the Bay Area Strikes Back, you got to tell me about that if you went to that show. Super cool. I wish they were coming to Canada. I mean, 3 bands and 3 awesome thrash bands in one shot. You know, all our old school favorites. That's pretty cool. If you're going, hey, have a great time. And that is it for today. And until next time, stay heavy.